Hey, horror fans. Okay, so with the release of Sharknado 5 coming out this week, I decided to look at the top 10 fifth installments within horror franchises or series, however you want to state it. Now, in doing this list, I already kind of knew that the fifth films were some of the worst in the entire series. So that's why building this list was kind of difficult. Not because there were so many great films. It's because you know, uh, where to rank them. And even like the top three, I felt were kind of weak films. Except for the first like number one choice. That was a pretty strong film. There are a few stronger films in this list, which I'll tell you about. Um, and before we get started, I did not know what to do with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's 7 films, and some would say 3 different series in in the franchise. Anyway, so let's get this list started. First one up, number 10, Leprechaun in the Hood. This is a lot better than the previous Leprechaun film, space film, but still, I would say this is one of the weaker Leprechaun films. Probably the second worst in the entire series. But that's just me. There are some pretty cool scenes here. He has a cool interaction with Ice T, and which is which makes it kind of fun. On to number 9. We got Friday the 13th Part 5. A lot of people would probably rank this a little bit higher. Um, as most of you guys know, this film does not have Jason in it. This is when they were trying to restart the series with kind of maybe a different killer, because they just killed off Jason in the final chapter. Well, at least Corey Feldman killed him off. So this was the second in the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. Um, yeah, there's definitely some cool things in here, but overall, I think this film's a little bit dumb. Uh, the twist is kind of silly, but anyway, on to number 8. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Yes, the Universal film. This was the fifth in the Frankenstein series, and I think it was the third or maybe the second in the Wolfman. But I'm counting this as Frankenstein, so it's the fifth one. Overall, Frankenstein films had the best series compared to the other monsters. Um, and this one is actually a pretty good film. There are a few slow parts, but it is a pretty entertaining film. And on to number 7, Saw 5. I would say this is one of the better Saw films, but compared to the other the other 6 on this list, I would still rank this at number 7. Because I like Saw, but I don't love Saw. You get it? Yeah, this is when we kind of find out the brand new killer who like the new Jigsaw is. There's some pretty cool traps in it, of course, and just a gore fest. So if you like Saw, you're gonna like this one. All right, on to number 6, Puppet Master 5. This was the direct sequel to Puppet Master 4, obviously. um, yeah, this is just a continuing story from that. Not much to really say. It's a good Puppet Master film, actually. They're like facing demons, so in this one and the fourth one, they are kind of good puppets. They're good. They're just good. Friendly. Like Casper, friendly ghost. Anyway, on to number 4. I mean 5. On to number 5. another full moon film, Evil Bong High Five. I really like where the series went after part four. I mean, since part four, I guess. There are these really short films now, easy stories, feature a lot of cameos, and they're just fun, like very simple storylines. Uh, so High Five is that basically Hebe wants him to just sell some magic weed, and if they sell enough, they can live a good life. Blah blah blah. It it's a good film if you like Evil Bong films and full moon films. Now on to number 4, Halloween 5. This was like tough to rank. This was actually again, this was a direct sequel to number 4. Like they meant to make it one long movie, you could say. Number 4 was a really strong film. Number 5 wasn't as strong. The characters that they were building up in the fourth one, where they went in this one, just did not go the way that it should have been. Because you had Jamie's character played by Daniel Harris be completely mute in this, which was kind of weird. And yeah, it was just kind of some poor choices. But overall, good film. I think it may be the goriest of the original Halloween series. Alright. On to number 3. Seed of Chucky. I know like a lot of people hate on this film. I like it. But yeah, again, as most fifth installments do, this is when like series have just completely lost track of like where the series started from. It's really corny, really cheesy, but it's super fun. With some cool kills. It's just a fun little goof film with Chucky and his family and his kids. So yeah, it's a fun film. And to number 2, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. This was close to being my number 1 choice. I like this film again. There's a lot of issues with it. Silly babies. Jacob. It's probably my least favorite in the entire Nightmare series, but there's some good qualities to it, obviously, because I ranked it number 2. All right, and grand finale. We are wrapping up with number 1. This may surprise everybody, but number 1. Do we need a drum roll? No, I don't think I have that sound effect, and I don't have a snare drum next to me. Number 1 is Taste the Blood of Dracula. Yes, from the Hammer Dracula films. This is the 5th one. This is actually one of my favorites in the entire series. I believe this was the first one that was rated R, I think. I'll have to recheck that. Got it fact checked. I'm not gonna just blurt out facts here that aren't factual. Anyway, yeah, this is a good film. Christopher Lee is actually not really in it too much. He was originally not going to be in the film because he was sick of the character. But then the U.S. market told the Hammer people that they had to bring him back, or else they're not going to release it in the U.S. So they did. They gave him extra money, and they gave him less screen time, and it just works. It's about this like this cult that kind of does weird things, and they eventually basically find Dracula's blood. And yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Again, that's what I said. This is in my top 3 of the Hammer Dracula films. All right, that wraps it up here. Thank you guys, and as always, remember to like, subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and also Twitter. There's all kinds of fun stuff on both of those things, full of horrorness. Anyway, yeah, let's wait for Sharknado 5. Sharknado 4 was really great, so I'm expecting probably the worst Sharknado 5. Just kidding. Anyway, see you guys later.